Would you like an interest-free card? And would you like the government to pay it off every single month? Well, if you're an asylum seeker, the government has a deal of a lifetime. Because it says that Labour refuses to reveal how much taxpayer cash is being spent on asylum seekers' top-up debit cards. And we'll go on to in a moment just what they're using them for. But to not try and tell us how much they've spent? For the government to try and hide that information? You must admit that is extremely shifty. Because it's not like we get debit cards ourselves to use. They don't just give us free money, preloaded on a debit card. We don't get that luxury. But Libby and Larry, he's got a wallet full of them. And it says that concerns have been raised that migrants have been using the money to gamble. And it says up to 6,537 asylum seekers have used the government cards at least once in arcades and casinos. So that's 6,500 migrants with a preload, what they're calling a government card. I mean, it's our money, so kind of feels like they're just using our cards down at the local casino. But like I said, over 6,500 migrants just betting down at the local bookies. And it really just goes to show, like, I know that they don't potentially get a great deal of money. I know that a lot of it for them is, like the hotel stay, and the phone's free of charge, and the service plan, and the healthcare as well. But you must admit, if it shows that they've got money for arcades and casinos, they must have some sort of a disposable income. There must be some sort of margin left over. And truth be told, if they've got money there, then it would probably show that we are giving them too much. And it says that the attempts to gamble were blocked each time. So fair play to the government for doing that one. Just knowing to block these transactions. So like I said, fair play to the government on that one. But as I mentioned, it just shows that they've got some available money. And at that point in time, there's just a whole range of problems as to why that's bad. Such as sending our money overseas and things like that. Because that will happen. They just earn it in the UK, and then they just send it back to some Wearistan. And I will say as well, just a couple of years ago, people would have called this a conspiracy theory. They would have told you that migrants are not getting debit cards, and they would have told you that there's no way they're trying to gamble. But here we are, a couple of years later, and migrants are being given free debit cards, and they are trying to use them to gamble. So what was a conspiracy theory has now come true. But if you enjoyed this daily Clown World video, where it turns out yet again you are absolutely correct, they tried to call you a conspiracy theorist. Well, today you can tell them to swivel. But if you enjoy that level of value, then I would highly recommend to check out this video, where we saw an average day in London, and it just looks awful. It really does. You'll see it from the photos in the video, but it is just awful.
This country has gone crazy.